VOC Network here with another unboxing, this time coming from the company Veikk. That's V-E-I-K-K. And this is the Veikk Studio VK2200 Pro, which is a 21.5-inch drawing tablet, or pen tablet. And what that means, it's also a screen. We'll start with that. It's also a screen. So it's a drawing tablet, but it's a screen tablet. So in other words, it's not like your typical Wacom or anything that's just a pad that you're drawing on and everything's happening on the screen in front of you. The pad itself is a screen, making it much more easier to focus on what you're drawing in because you're not having to look away, back and forth, or just not stare at your hand, depending on what kind of artist you are. Sometimes, you can sit here all day and stare at the screen while drawing, outside of your vision, or sometimes you prefer to see exactly what you're doing, and in that case, you're going to want a screen tablet that allows you to draw directly on the screen. So that's what this is, and it's a 21.5-inch drawing tablet, so it is massive and incredibly useful for finer detail and or just larger works of art. And as for that screen that's built into it, it is a 1080p IPS screen, so it should look pretty darn good. And it only responds to the pen. So you don't have to worry about, you can rest your hand on there and you can do whatever you need to do. Your hand's never going to interfere with what you're trying to accomplish. The downside to that is there's not going to be any touch controls or anything like that, but that's fine because you're buying this just to draw on. That's it. As for controls, you got those going down the side, and everything you're going to need is right there because they're completely customizable. You actually have, you can see in the image here, you have 8 buttons. You got 4 right here and 4 right here, as well as 2 dials. And those 8 buttons can be customized to do whatever you want. So you can say that, each one is going to be one of your favorite brushes. One's a paintbrush, pencil, maybe a zoom tool or highlighter, or whatever you want to be able to assign to one of those buttons based on what you commonly use when you're working on your art. And then those 2 dials can also achieve different things like, preferably that's what you'd want your zoom set for. So one of those dials could be zoom, or it could be brush size, which is going to be 2 of your most commonly used options when drawing. And on top of that, each one of those dials can have 4 different assignments. So when you spin them, when you rotate them, they're going to do whatever they're looking to achieve. But if you press down on the center, it'll switch between the 4 options that those dials are designed or customized to be for. So you have 8 different dial options that can be customized, plus 8 different buttons. So you have a lot of customization with this, and the comfort of knowing that your hand is not going to interfere with anything that you're doing. So a lot of these tablets have that issue, where you have to wear a special glove sometimes, or a half glove that just covers that portion of the hand so it doesn't interact with the screen. In this case, you shouldn't have that issue. On top of that, the pen is battery free, so you do not have to worry about the pen charging it or anything like that. The pen is passive, so that means you don't have to worry about consumables, batteries at any point. You just plug it in and go to town with whatever you're working on. The pen also has, it's 8,192 pressure levels, so it's a very sensitive pen in terms of pushing down on it or getting close to the screen. And it has a 60 degree tilt function as well. It also, it has a stand, like most of these tablets actually. It comes with a little stand, a little plastic round stand that it goes into. You pop that stand open, and there's gonna be storage inside for all the various different nibs that it comes with. And a nib is you probably, if you're watching this, you know what a nib is, but the nib, for those who don't, are the little ballpoint tips that you can interchange on the end of the pen, to get the effect that you're looking for. So consider it like having a bunch of drill bits for a drill gun. So that is customizable as well and can all be stored within the pen holder. On top of that, it also has a built-in stand that is completely adjustable, and we'll go over that in just a second and how easy it is to adjust it while it's up. But it looks pretty cool. And then you have the Hdmi and USB connectivity. HDMI is going to be for video, and the USB is going to be for the data, for the touch interactive data. There is no USB-C on this one, so you're not going to get that shared input and video off of one connection or anything like that. But that's kind of common too. I don't think we have come across any models yet that use USB-C. Portable monitors, yes, for both power and video, but for video and data for these, haven't seen them yet. Doesn't mean they don't exist, but we haven't come across any of them yet. But there's that. So you're going to have a USB cable and an HDMI running from this to your computer, as well as a power cable as well running to the wall. As for compatibility, this thing works with everything. actually. It's plug and play, or should be plug and play, I believe. There's software. You do have to download software, and that allows you to customize the customizable buttons on the unit. But in terms of compatibility, this will work with Windows, it'll work with Mac, it'll work with Linux, it'll work with Chrome OS. So you have a lot of options there. So just about anybody who's an artist who has any computer should be able to make use of this, as long as that computer is at least somewhat modern. And then you have your MSRP, which is kind of all over the place. The MSRP, from what we can understand from the manufacturer, is $469. However, it ranges to even $629 on some of the stores. So definitely shop around to find the best price, so you're not spending too much. And we will give some links in the description as well. And we're gonna have a full review about this later on at PLC Network, where we're also gonna have some links in there. So that way you do have some options to bounce around at. I think the best price is coming from Veik's website at the moment, but that could change. So definitely, when it comes time, click on all of those links to figure out which one has the best price. So that way you're not overspending. But what we're going to do today is we're going to pop this open. We're going to see what it looks like. We're going to show you a few neat features of it, including the stand. And then you're going to go to the website at plcnetwork.net once we have the full review, because obviously what we're doing today is just unboxing the device. So we get to see what it looks like, what it comes with, and then as for a full review with all the information about what we think about it, that comes later once we've actually spent that time with it. So there, you'll go to plcnetwork.net, go to the website, and check out that review come time. So, opening it up. First thing you have is a little box here, and it looks like all of your accessories. Now it does have a glove. It does have that half glove that covers a portion of your hand. Now, again, your hand should not trigger anything on the screen. It should not interfere with anything. So in most cases, this is just so you don't get, fingerprints and stuff all over the screen as you're using it. And then you have a quick start guide, a little tiny quick start guide that's going to show you how to download the software and customize certain features, such as the buttons. You have a dear customers, thank you if you need support or anything else. Here's a card with all that information on it. You have a microfiber cleaning cloth here for wiping down the screen, which is incredibly important because any kind of monitor device, you want to make sure you're using a very nice microfiber cloth, and don't use any harsh chemicals. Never use harsh chemicals, use water, maybe a little dish soap in there, but that's it. And always wipe away from the edges. Don't wipe towards the edges because you don't want any of that moisture to get underneath the bevel. And here you have this really nice little sleeve that the pen hides into. Here's your pen. You have your two buttons right here. It's a very soft, grippy pen, which is nice. It's got Veikk's logo right here, and then you have your nib right here at the bottom. So it has a nice shape to it, and depending on how you use it, if you like to click with your thumb or your index finger, but it does feel good in the hand, and it looks good too. But the grip texture on it is nice. And then in this one right here, oh look, you get two pins. You do get a backup pin, so in case anything were to happen to one maybe, or you lose one or anything, you misplace it, you have a backup one that you can store somewhere. Then you have your power brick, which is going to be one half of the power solution here. This is going to be the other half. And this is what's going to go between the brick right here, just plugs right in, and the wall, and then the brick plugs into the back of the tablet. This is your pen holder / nub storage. So if you just do a kind of just a partial turn to counterclockwise to unlock it and lift it up, you can see your nibs right there, and you just have a nice little felt material in there, foamy felt material that everything just slides into. And then the pen, when it's not in use, slides into that. So that way it's just always stored on your desk and immediately available to reach over to when you're ready to use the tablet. Now it looks like, which is a benefit, it does come with all of the necessary cables, which is incredibly important. You have your HDMI cable here. And it doesn't matter what kind of HDMI cable. It could be 1.4, 2.0. Doesn't matter because it's just a 1080p screen. You have your USB-C to USB cable here. So, so it looks like I lied here. It does have a USB-C connectivity, USB-C to USB-C. So that way, if you're connecting this to a MacBook or anything like that, that only has access to USB-C, you're able to do that using this. Or else you'll be using the USB cable. That's just general USB-A to USB-C. So the monitor, this is probably gonna be USB-C on the back. And then in this bag, you have some additional nibs, as well as a little metal key here. And that is it for these accessories. But again, it's nice to see that there's 2 pens instead of 1 pen, especially when you're spending this kind of money on a very, very nice screen. Now, as for the screen, we have some protective plastic on here that we're going to remove. I'm gonna pop this out. Now, all the buttons are right here on the face of the screen, as well as the dials. And again, pushing these buttons in the center will switch you between the different dial options. Each one, again, has 4, and then you have your customizable buttons. Now, this is a heavy screen. This is nice. As for the stand, you have various different options here. Now, it can lay flat, of course, you know, or you have this really cool little latch here, and this is what allows you to adjust what you're doing. So like I'm the artist, I'm sitting here doing my thing, you know, and it's just, this is way too straight up. It's kind of awkward to get that angle. All you do is just lift this and tilt it back, and that's it. It's incredibly cool. It's really nice. So if you just need to give it some more, you just keep doing that. I mean, this is, for me, this would be a really nice one. I'm not much of an artist myself, you know, but I can sit here and doodle all I want. And if for some reason, you know, my hand's getting tired and I want to change angles or anything like that, or I want to operate, you know, for certain different things at a different angle, it is very easy to adjust this however I want to get that right angle that I'm looking for to get that job done with. This is really nice. It looks nice. It's got a lot of weight to it, and it blows away anything that you get from like Wacom or anything like that. Because again, those are really nice drawing tablets, but you're monitoring everything on a separate screen. Here, everything is right in front of you. It's just like you're actually painting or drawing on a paper surface or canvas. So, you know, just looking at this thing, it is massive. It is really heavy duty. You have your ports right here on the side. So you have HDMI, you have your power, you have your USB-C. So again, your HDMI is going to be for video, USB-C is going to be for the data, sending back and forth, and that data is going to be covering your buttons and your dials, as well as your touch input. And then the power is going to be running to the wall, power everything up with. This is just looks like a very capable screen. It looks fantastic. Obviously, we're not going to be able to say much about this until later, once we've actually had time to sit down with this and play with it. We have to see how well it operates in action once we have some time to doodle with it. But we definitely will give this a lot of playtime to determine exactly what we like or don't like about it, and we'll let you know what we think in terms of screen resolution and everything else, you know, how well this looks, and touch responsiveness, how easy it is to reload the nibs on the pens, and how easy it is to work with the software to get through customizing all these buttons and the dials. So we'll have all of that information at the review, or in the review, at POCnetwork.net. once that review is available. Now, if you liked what you've seen here, don't forget to subscribe below. Hit that subscribe button and the like button as well to show you like the video. And use the comment section as well in case you have anything to share. Maybe you have one of these or you have one like it, or you just have questions for each other or for us. Maybe it's something we can answer. But definitely use the comment section. And as always, we thank you for watching, and we'll catch you next time. If you want to stay on top of all the latest and greatest, and or at least the gadgets we cover, remember to subscribe right here. Subscription button. Click it. You're going to want to. There's lots of videos, interviews, previews, all sorts of stuff. Button. Click it.